You know, we went there with the reputation of being the worst side ever to tour England. You know, that was burning in our stomachs from the day we read that in the paper, and you know, we just wanted to finish really well.
We were now dominating the series and we were just loving every moment.
You know, we went there for a reason to win the Ashes, but you know, it was important for us to, even though we'd won the Ashes, was to, you know, finish it off and finish the tour off.
The whole way the thing unfolded was horrible. You know, there aren't many better words than that. It was a horrible experience for me. It wasn't a great experience for the team as a whole. And so by the end of that, we were very much tail between our legs, well beaten, and looking a bit forlorn, to say the least.
In fairness, Australia battered us out of the game. It was all over after 2 days.
Just all fell into place.
Yes, I don't know how we managed to get a wicket, to be honest.
Our motivation leading into the Trent Bridge Test match was just to keep a great thing going. We just secured the Ashes at Old Trafford, and Geoff Marsh and myself walked out there to bat on a beautiful pitch, lovely day at Nottingham, and we just didn't want to get out.
For myself and Mark was, you know, like every Test match, was to get the team off to a good start, and you know, we had a job to do.
The shot of the morning. Lovely cover drive from Marsh.
What did happen was that as they go out the door, they're going down to go at the bat, and I went to sit in my seat, right, which is quite at the back of the change rooms. There was a television sort of over here, so that they were showing live action. So I went to sit down to sort of put my thigh pad and different things on, fiddle around, getting ready because I was batting at number 4. And I had a whole pile of mail. So I thought, I'll just quickly just have a look at the mail and sign a few things, you know, and just get a bit of mail out of the road before I get up to watch the action. Anyway, Terry Alderman is in our side, and he's a very superstitious bloke. He's one of those guys that, you know, once you're in your seat, you don't move, you know, in between balls, and you don't ever say things like, oh gee, you know, they're batting well. So because I'd sat down and I hadn't seen the first couple of balls sort of bowled, I was fiddling around doing stuff, I wasn't then allowed to move because the boys had started well out there. So the game's going on, I'm stuck in this chair, and I did not see a ball bowled all day, live.
Beautifully cut.
The pitches for 989 were magnificent to bat on. So Swampy and I just thought, well, if we could get through the first hour, this is going to be a great place to bat, and it was.
Beautiful shot, superb drive up the back foot.
Once we got started, we basically just got on that roll, and you know, Mark is such a confident guy, you know, and when you're batting with him, you just feed off his confidence.
That brings up his 50.
To Geoffrey Marsh.
We just reminded ourselves, you know, at the end of every over, come on, let's get to drinks, and then let's get to lunch, and you know, we did that.
He finds a gap. That'll bring up the 200 if they run quickly. They're through for 2, coming back.
We're in the field, and you're trying to get people out. And at lunchtime, we haven't got anyone out. Tea time, we haven't got anyone out.
So the 200 up without loss. Superb effort.
Went on all day. So of course then I started to get into it. I'm not moving, so I just stayed and watched the game on TV.
Geoff and I went past, I think it was the Ashes record at the time, by an Australian PA. I think it was Laurie and Simpson. A big announcement came over the PA and said that that's now the record Ashes partnership for an Australians, surpassing Laurie and Simpson. We both got together and said, oh, we've knocked off Simo. Sort of gave him a bit of a wave.
97, he beats Gower. 98, they may come back to 3. Taylor's going quickly. There's the throw, Mark Taylor scoring his second 100. Beautiful innings.
When he got to 100, I was just so keen to get there. And I just had to try to keep myself calm and say, well, come on, just play each ball on its merits. And, you know, I remember saying to Mark, you know, like, I really want to get to this 100. And, you know, he was saying, just relax and, you know, watch the ball closely, keep doing the things well, let's rotate the strike. And, you know, so he was fantastic, you know, and I just know when I got the 100, I was just so happy.
There it is. Good on you, Swampy.
There's a lot goes through your mind when you get a Test 100. It's the greatest feeling. You know, I think getting your Test cap is fantastic, but getting a Test 100 as an opening batsman or a batsman or anybody is just a great feeling, and you can see it in everybody. When we get 100, it's like, you know, it's just a fantastic feeling.
And in the final session of the day, I remember thinking, well, I've tried everything. I've even tried Michael Atherton at one stage. That first day, I called Greg Thomas, who was the 12th man. He wasn't playing the game, he was up in the balcony there, on the balcony. And I said, yeah, come down. And so he came all the way down the steps of Trent Bridge, came all halfway out in the field, and I met him out there. I said, look, do me a favour. Can you go to the press box now and ask them what we do next? Because I've run out of ideas.
So that's it. The end of the day's play. Australia no wicket for 301. The Australians absolutely cock a hoop in the dressing room.
I kind of think, this is not my year, this is not my summer. Yeah, please stop now.
Day 2, well, I made sure that I was up out of my seat and watching the live action, but of course by this stage we're none for 300. You know, first day was just brilliant, you know, obviously. So I was allowed to move, yeah, day 2. Terry relaxes a little bit under those circumstances, but still, you weren't allowed to move around, you weren't allowed to say things like, gee, the boys are playing well. You just assume your positions and then just watch what's going on.
So that brings them 150 up for Mark Taylor.
Very rare a player blossoms like he has done on one's debut tour of England.
Unfortunately, I got out. And I still remember playing the shot now.
Well, I put Taylor up there with those and also on the score of his debut match. And Marsh has got.
I swung, I tried to slog sweep. It was a stupid shot. I knew when I started it was, you know, stupid. I should have just played straight and, you know, Tubbsy's, you know, free scoring player and, you know, I just had to keep playing. But, you know, look, you do those things and you make those mistakes. You're always disappointed when you get out. It doesn't matter whether you're 1 or 150, you're disappointed you get out because you train so hard for it and you want to spend as much time out there as you possibly can. But I think every time that I see Mark Taylor now, he reminds me if I'd not got out then, we'd still be batting now.
So we come into lunch, we're pretty happy going to lunchroom. The two teams, you know, you have the same area to have your lunch.
Quite a communal area. And David Gower, the England captain, ordered a bottle of champagne. And we're also looking around thinking, what's this all about?
And I said very loudly, I think, to one of the girls serving, so, have you got any champagne? We need some champagne. We've taken a wicket. We've finally taken a wicket. Please, can you get some champagne for us?
And he's got a few glasses out and he pulled up a glass and he looked at his fellow players and said, gentlemen, to our first wicket. And had a glass of champagne. And I was sitting there not out thinking, oh well, I had a bit of a laugh myself, you know. 1 for 400. He thought, well, let's just enjoy the moment. We've got a wicket.
I just wanted to see what reaction I'd get, which was slightly mischievous, slightly that sort of gallows humour, yeah, humour in adversity, because, you know, no sooner, of course, had we eaten lunch and got back to the business of playing the game, you know, we're now scratching our heads, wondering how to take another wicket.
There it is. 200 and 700 runs in the series, 4 runs, 24s for Mark Taylor.
To bring up the double 100, it's a surreal moment. You think to yourself, wow, I came on that series not knowing whether I'd play. I never expected this. If someone said to me, Mark, you're going to get through the Ashes summer and you're going to do well, you're going to make 400 runs and you're going to play your part, I would have said, I'd have signed up for it. As it turned out, I made over 800 runs in the series. It changed like that.
That's the end of Mark Taylor, stumped by Jack Russell after bowling of Nick Cook.
I walked off and you standing ovation as I walked off. Came into the change rooms, all the boys pat me on the back, and you feel great. I then sat back down, and AB, Alan Border, came over as the captain and said, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "Oh, look, I'm all right. I'm happy." And that. He said, "Are you really tight?" And I said, "No, not really." He said, "Geez, you've blown a 300 there, haven't you?" And he was right.
Yeah, look, I might have said something like that because you sort of think, once you're making a lot of runs, you might, I can't remember the shot he played to get out, but it might have been, an expansive shot that he maybe shouldn't have played.
I'd never hit a guy over cover in my life, and there I was trying to hit Nick Cook in a test match over cover to do something different. And looking back, I thought to myself, yeah, I got myself out, almost threw my wicket away. And AV was right. He said, I threw away more runs, and I did. I could have made a lot more.
The other boys came in and they all did well. I think we ended up with 600 and plenty. And then we bowled them out for nothing. So on both innings.
That series took, I think, the Australian side from believing we were an average side to a good side, and it took me from being someone who thought he was a reasonable player to someone who thought he was a good player. And to me, that's everything in sport. When you believe that you're a better standard, you play at a better standard. So to me, it was a landmark series.